Week 1 of the NFL season is already over, and it was a pretty good week, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, first it started with the, kickoff game, and then you had the whole Antonio Brown situation, which was pretty entertaining, not gonna lie. But it does suck that Antonio Brown ended up going to the Patriots, but the whole Antonio Brown drama thing, it was kind of fun to follow, but let's go ahead and recap this week, which is something new I want to kind of do every week. Just recap every single game of the previous week and, just give my thoughts and where the teams go from there and my overall thoughts on how the game went. Let's start off with the Thursday Night Football opener, which was Packers at Bears. Yikes. Not a pretty game, not gonna lie. I mean, if you're an offensive guy that loves offense, or a person that loves offense, this game wasn't for you. Personally, I don't care. I love football, so as long as it's not a blowout, I'll have fun watching the game. Now, this Bears and Packers game, I actually did get a chance to watch it all. And, Trubisky is who I thought he was, a terrible quarterback. He couldn't get anything going all day. Rodgers kind of struggled most of the day, but given the Bears' defense is amazing, and the Packers' defense actually played really well as well, but this is one of those situations where it's too early to tell. Is the Packers' defense actually good this year, or is Mitchell Trubisky that bad? I'm leaning towards Trubisky being that bad, but moving on. Redskins at Eagles. I did get a chance to watch some of this game. At first, the Redskins were up. I was like, oh my god, what the hell is going on with Philly? But then, Carson Wentz knocked off the rust. Deshaun Jackson, looking like vintage Deshaun Jackson, he was out there. Alshon Jeffrey did some things as well. Like, they were just firing on all cylinders on offense after that terrible first half, and the Eagles came away with the win. The Redskins, they're not a good team, in my opinion. The Eagles should have beaten the Redskins, probably by more points, but still, they came away with a win, so that's always good. Bills at Jets. I got a chance to watch the end of this game, and the Jets were up 16-0, and then somehow the Bills just come back and win this one. I did predict the Bills to win this game, but I didn't think they'd come back after they were down 16-0, especially not with Josh Allen, but hey, they somehow did it. I thought the ending was pretty fun, and I don't know about these Bills, man. I love their defense, don't like Josh Allen, but who knows what they can do. And as for the Jets, I like their offense, but to be fair, they were going up against a very good defense. So, again, it's week 1. You can't really judge what these teams are going to be off of just 1 week. This next game really surprised me. Falcons at Vikings. I had the Falcons winning this game. I didn't think the Vikings defense was going to dominate the Falcons the way they did. And the way the Vikings played was also surprising. They paid Kirk Cousins all this money, yet they only let him throw it like 10 times. But, hey, they won 28-12. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Kirk Cousins struggles against better teams. Hey, maybe this is the winning formula. Dalvin Cook finally looks healthy again. He looks like he did his rookie year. I always thought Dalvin Cook was going to be like one of those top-tier running backs, but injuries have really kind of delayed that, I guess you could say, because Cook looked really good. And, the Vikings, I had Kyle Rudolph as my tight end in fantasy football, and yeah, I was very disappointed in that, but, fantasy football is just fantasy football. the Vikings did a good job and they start 1-0. Ravens at Dolphins. Oh my God. 59-10. Lamar Jackson and Marquise Brown tore these Dolphins up. I didn't get a chance to watch this game, but I mean, it felt like I was watching a highlight of this game from Lamar Jackson, like every few minutes, whether it was a game break thing or if it was on Twitter. But, you know, the Ravens completely destroyed the Dolphins, and you should expect this. The Dolphins, they're a tanking team. They're not good. The Ravens last year were a playoff team, and they should be competing for a playoff spot this season as well. So this should really come to no surprise that the Ravens completely embarrassed the Dolphins. And there's like rumors right now circulating that a lot of the Dolphins players after this game called up their agents and demanded a trade because they don't want to be a part of a tanking team. And hey man, a lot of these players, especially good ones like Mika Fitzpatrick, Xavier Howard, like, I'm pretty sure they want to win. They don't want to be stuck losing in a terrible franchise. I know the Dolphins are in rebuild mode, but sometimes some players, they just don't want to be a part of that. And I'm not saying Mika Fitzpatrick and Xavier Howard were players that called their agents and went out of Miami. I'm just using them more as of an example. But I mean, if Xavier Howard wants out of Miami, then, you know, Houston should be on the phone and be like, hey, remember us? I'll give you a third-round pick or something. You know, obviously, you're not going to get Xavier Howard for a third-round pick. That'd be a steal, but, you know, at least try. Next game, Chiefs at Jaguars. The Chiefs beat the Jaguars 40-26. I did get a chance to watch most of this game, and unfortunately for the Jaguars, Nick Foles did get hurt. He's going to be out for at least half the season, so for the Jaguars, it's not looking good. I mean, I think their season might be over. I don't think Minshew, as good as he looked against the Chiefs, I don't think he could carry that team and keep them afloat until Nick Foles gets back. And once Nick Foles gets back, I don't think Nick Foles can knock off the rust quick enough to make something happen. So I think the Jaguar season's over. I did like the way Leonard Fournette looked, though. He looked way more agile, lighter. So that's good for them. Defensively, the Jaguars, I don't know, man. They looked pretty bad. They were going up against the Chiefs offense, so you kind of have to be a little bit lenient there, but still, this Jags defense is nowhere near as good as the 2017 defense. So for all you people that were expecting this Jags defense to be the same defense from back then, it just doesn't look that way. And the Chiefs defense, Jesus Christ, man, like, it looks worse than last year. They let a rookie quarterback, Minshew, just tear him up. Like, it was terrible. Like, I think Minshew went like 23 for like 26 or something like that. He just straight up tore him up. So, Chiefs, they easily won this game. Tyreek Hill is going to be out for a few weeks, but I really don't think they're going to miss him that much because they still have Sammy Watkins. And Sammy Watkins, let's talk about him. Guy kind of exploded out of nowhere. He was looking like Clemson Sammy Watkins, which is something he hasn't looked like at all in the NFL. Like, he literally had his best game in his career, and that was before even Tyreek Hill went out. Like, when Tyreek Hill was in there, Sammy Watkins was still balling out. So, hey man, if Sammy Watkins can look like the player that he was originally drafted to be, the guy who he was in Clemson, the Chiefs just might have gotten a whole other level of dangerous. And then you got LaShawn McCoy, who was looking like Philly LaShawn McCoy. Like, not that old, washed-up Buffalo LaShawn McCoy. I mean, I guess it's just him playing with Andy Reid again that just made him kind of rejuvenate himself. Next game, Titans at Browns. Titans completely destroyed the Browns, and I called it, and I loved every second of it. Even though I'm a Texans fan and I'm supposed to hate the Titans, but these Browns needed to be humbled, and the Titans just went in there and punched them in the mouth. Baker Mayfield had a terrible game. Pretty much how he does up against any decent team. Baker Mayfield has like a 1-6 record against teams above 500. Like, he does terrible, and the Titans completely went in there and just embarrassed the Browns and humbled them. Hopefully Browns fans and the Browns themselves, they lay low for a while and stop buying into all the hype, because winning in the off season doesn't mean you're going to go and win during the season. Delaney Walker said it best. You can crown them, but you still got to play football. Next game, Rams at Panthers. Didn't get a chance to watch this one, unfortunately. I really wish I had a chance to watch this one. I heard Christian McCaffrey completely went off. Actually, I know he went off because I was going up against him in fantasy football, and he put up like 43 points against me. So, that was pretty sad for me. But the Rams ended up coming up on top, 30-27. Todd Gurley really didn't do much this game, so that's kind of something to look out for. Like, is he still hurting, or are they just limiting his snaps until they get to the playoffs? Or I don't know what they're doing, but good for the Rams coming out 1-0. Bengals at Seahawks. The Seahawks won this game. Didn't get a chance to watch this game, but the Seahawks struggled with the Bengals, and John Ross, first round bust John Ross from a few years ago was actually making plays. Like, when I seen that, I was like, what, in Torn Nation? I don't know how that happened, but the Seahawks ended up coming out on top. The Seahawks usually tend to start slow, so that could be the reason. But the Bengals actually, keeping up with the Seahawks, almost beating the Seahawks. Maybe the Bengals aren't as bad as I originally thought they were going to be. And keep in mind, they didn't have A.J. Green. A.J. Green's going to be out for a few more weeks. What happens when A.J. Green comes back? Can the Bengals be, a team to watch out for? Next game, Colts at Chargers. I did get a chance to watch some of this game. This game went to overtime. The Colts offensive line and run game completely dominated that Chargers defense. Jacoby Brissett played like a game manager, didn't turn the ball over, played it kind of safe. The Chargers, Austin Eckler kind of carried the team, and there at the end, he got the game-winning touchdown in overtime. I mean, the Chargers' run defense doesn't look that good. The Colts look like they have problems covering running backs out of the backfield because Eckler completely destroyed them. But, the Colts did do a decent job, I'd say so. I was honestly expecting the Colts to get completely blown out of this game, but, they hung in there. Niners at Buccaneers. Jameis Winston. I think he's a lost cause, man. Like, if Bruce Arians can't help you, then I don't know what to say. The Niners did start out struggling, but they came out on top and won by 14 points. So, at the end, the scoreboard didn't look that close, but this game was a little bit closer. I didn't get a chance to watch this one, so I don't really got much to say about this one other than, yikes, Jameis Winston. Next game, Giants at Cowboys. The Giants came out swinging. They went up 7-0, and I was like, oh my god, what the hell? Like, maybe these Giants aren't so bad. But then later, they kind of went back to the team we all thought they were going to be, that terrible team. The Cowboys beat them 35-17. And they didn't even need Zeke in this one. They didn't use Zeke that much. Dak Prescott actually shredded the Giants through the air. So, yeah. Lions at Cardinals. We got our first tie of the season. Oh, my God. Kyler Murray started off terrible. But then later on in the fourth quarter and in overtime, he kind of heated up and brought the Cardinals back, and they ended up tying this game. Like, I don't even know what to say. Honestly, like, I don't think ties in the NFL should exist. They should, like, do something. Like, I don't know. Like, penalty kicks or something. They need to come up with something. A lot of people are saying college football rules, but I hate those rules. I personally think in the NFL, you should have to drive the whole length of the field. So I'm not about the whole starting at the 35-yard line thing or whatever they start at in college. So I don't know. Ties, however, they gotta go because they're kind of annoying. Next game, Steelers at Patriots. Patriots won 33-3. Looks like the Steelers really missed Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell in this one, huh? Like, the Steelers, they just looked completely lost, man. And the Patriots, they knew what they were doing. And the tough part about this game for every NFL fan is Antonio Brown didn't even play, and the Patriots completely embarrassed the Steelers. Imagine what happens when Antonio Brown hits the field. Yeah, so man, I hate Antonio Brown. I hate the Patriots. Like, it's annoying, man. Like, they pretty much already have it wrapped up. Next game, Texans at Saints. If you want a further in-depth breakdown of that game, watch my recap video from last night. But long story short, very good game. Kind of high scoring. They're at the end, Saints go on top, and then the Texans come back to Deshaun Watson, 2 plays. Then the Texans are on top, and then the Texans defense chokes, and the Saints kick a field goal to win it. Just a very good game. I think both these teams are playoff teams. I have the Saints going to the Super Bowl. The Texans, and they look like the Texans from year past. And what I mean by that is, Deshaun Watson's amazing. He bails them out. He goes toe-to-toe with his opponent. And then the defense just chokes at the end. Like, that's really sad, considering I'm a Texans fan. But overall, I think this Texans and Saints game was probably the most entertaining game of the weekend. Next game, Broncos at Raiders, also the last game. The Raiders won 24-16. I honestly didn't see this coming. I thought the Broncos were going to go in there and just smack the Raiders around, but Josh Jacobs, the rookie running back for the Raiders, really did a good job against the Broncos. And Derek Carr also had a really good game. Tyrell Williams, the Raiders' new number 1 receiver, because Antonio Brown did the whole clown stuff. So he's their new number 1 receiver, and he also had a very good game. So overall, these Raiders came out here and surprised me. I'm not sure if the way the Raiders played last night was just a response to the whole Antonio Brown drama, and that's just the way they're going to play week 1, or if these are going to be the Raiders we're going to have for the 2019 season. And if this is the Raiders we're going to have for the 2019 season, I must say this Raiders team is way better than what I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be like a bottom of the league team, kind of fighting for that first overall pick. Maybe not the first overall pick, because pretty sure Miami has that locked up, but at least a top 5 pick. That's where I thought the Raiders were going to end up. But they actually came out here and looked pretty decent. You know, Josh Jacobs in his first game looked like low-key the real deal, and I kind of clowned the Raiders for that pick. I was like, why would you pick a running back in the first round? Like, that ain't Zeke, that ain't, Gurley or Saquon Barkley, but hey, ended up looking good for them so far, so who knows. Overall, though, like I said at the start of the video, I thought it was a very entertaining week 1 of the NFL season, and this is why the NFL is king of American sports. Like, it's better than baseball, it's better than basketball, and whatever other stuff, chess, I don't know what people watch, but football is king because it is so entertaining. All the storylines, starting off with the Antonio Brown thing, down to the very end, the Raiders coming out. Just an overall good week 1, and hopefully week 2 ends up being just as good, if not better. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys for today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.